welcome back to another episode of Crossing the Line. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Now let's get into today's story. Now, Ronnie Radke, if you don't know who he is, where have you been? You've been hiding under a rock. He is the lead singer of the heavy metal band Falling in Reverse, ex-lead singer of Escape the Fate. Now, he is a bit of a troll online, and he enjoys putting fuel on the fire of any cultural, culture war going on at the moment. And he's a bit of a character. He's fantastic follow on any of the platforms if you follow him on Twitter, or TikTok is great as well. I'm surprised he's not completely banned off of TikTok, seeming I can't even get a video uploaded. But with his talent and his exceedingly smart-ass remarks and funny demeanor, he is a fantastic follow on any of the platforms, and a very good vocalist. He's fantastic in he was fantastic in Escape the Fate back in the day, and is exceeding those boundaries with Falling in Reverse, releasing some fantastic new bangers. You can check those out on places like Spotify. But Radke enjoys stirring up lefties. I don't think he's really a right-winger or anything like that. I believe he's just a bit of a truth teller. He doesn't like lying. He likes calling out BS when he sees it. And he is basically the enemy of the left at the moment and continues to be so. It's a bit of his own making, but I'm sure he enjoys the fire that he's put himself in. But it's all for the best, I believe. We've got the story here from CNR News. Ronnie Radke donates all of his proceeds for Panda Express shirts to Gays Against Groomers. Now, if you don't know who Gays Against Groomers are, they are a support group to help LGBTQ members protect children, basically, and stop the leftist LGBTQ people grooming children and indoctrinating them into their way of life. They kind of are the yin against the yang there, and are trying to even out the scales in the culture war going on with the gay community. Now, people in Gays Against Groomers do a lot of work into protecting children and getting the message out there, and this is just a fantastic idea. And it's part of a troll for Ronnie, because he is constantly labelled with titles like misogynistic, homophobic, racist, you name it. He's got the entire alphabet mafia after him over everything, and pretty much anyone who disagrees with him disagrees with him publicly on places like TikTok are immediately reprimanded, and he stitches their videos and absolutely decimates them and calls them out on their BS and destroys them. And you go into the comment thread, and those people are thoroughly ratioed in every single post, and it's fantastic to watch. It's always fun to see. And Radke's had a bit of a history himself. He has had a bit of a dark history. He was sent to prison after an altercation in basically a desert, led to someone's death. Him and a couple of mates fought someone else, a couple other guys in a punch-up, where he himself brought some knuckle dusters, and one of his mates brought a pistol and defended himself, actually killing one of the other combatants, I suppose you could call them, in this altercation. So Ronnie got put on probation after that incident, and breached his probation orders, and subsequently went to jail, which is where he left Escape the Fate. Well, they replaced him with another singer, and he started Falling in Reverse from prison, I believe. That's what his wiki says anyway, because I enjoy his music, and I enjoy his TikTok account. It's fantastic. So go leave a like and follow him on some platforms, and you guys will get a laugh out of it if you enjoy kicking the crap out of leftists. Obviously on the internet, not in real life, in Minecraft. But whatever you want to call it, it's a fun watch. But we'll get into the story from CNR News, and we have another story here for Ronnie as well. He is suing this POS for basically spreading lies about him on the internet, but we'll get into that. So I don't think anyone wants to mess with Ronnie. In honor of Pride Month, Falling in Reverse frontman Ronnie Radke has released a Panda Express shirt and will donate 100% of the proceeds to non-profit anti-child sexualization group Gays Against Groomers. The shirt, produced independently from Gag by Radke and his merchandise team, features Panda Express logo with a rainbow flag behind in the background, which reads Panda Express, followed by Leave the Kids Alone. Radke announced his shirt on Tuesday, shared across social media. Since all your favourite bands love to pander to make money off you guys and pretend that they support a cause, which they really don't care about, I made a shirt called Panda Express. Radke announced in the video, Leave the Kids Alone. And go back to everything I'm saying right now, 100% of the proceeds are going to Gays Against Groomers and Falling in Reverse frontman added. I feel like it's gotten out of hand. I just want people to leave these kids alone, Radke continued. Do whatever you want. Leave the children out of it. You know what I mean. Let them grow up. Falling in Reverse frontman said, happily supported the organisation. Whatever better way to show my support to the actual LGBTQ members than donating the support to the children, because most of you bands are pandering so hard that you forgot about kids and you're going to grow up confused, he added. Now, can't be more than true. It's every single pop, I wouldn't even call them band, pop group or whatever the fuck is going on out there now, things like Taylor Swift, they just literally toe the line and continue to say the mainstream media propaganda that they're pushed against them because they're terrified of getting cancelled. They're terrified of being called out for what they believe in. They may not actually believe the things they are saying, but they get paid a lot of money to say them. Now, I'm broke as fuck, and I wouldn't mind someone paying me to say things. It'd be fantastic. But these millionaire people, multi-millionaires, in Taylor Swift's case, a billionaire apparently. I didn't know that flat-chested, skinny cow could rake together $1 billion, but selling regurgitated garbage to the masses works well, I suppose. I wouldn't be one to want to do it, but $1 billion will make me do a lot of things. But he's completely right. Other people like Phil from All That Remains calls these people out. I can't wait to see a collaboration between Ronnie and Phil. That'd be fantastic. Give us something. It'd be great. Anyone who bows down to the leftist agenda seems to be making money hand over fist, or at least not being attacked for it. I mean, coming out and saying things like, okay, you guys can be and do whatever you want, but just leave the children alone. Saying something so simple like that, like we'll get into later with Nick Merckx, back in the limelight again. If you don't know who he is, he's a popular video game streamer. He said some pretty benign comments that have got him in the firing line yet again against this leftist nutjob mob. But what do you expect anymore these days? I mean, you say that there's two genders and these people have a conniption and burn down several city blocks. I mean, there's a white girl on Twitter at the moment. I think she was on Twitter or TikTok. I think it might have been TikTok, where she said the N-word with a hard A. And it's completely warped people's minds, and they are rioting on their keyboards about a white girl saying the N-word and not being cancelled for it or not really giving a fuck. I mean, it's pretty hilarious how weak these people are and how easily offended all these... it seems to be Americans, but it's really bled into our culture here in Australia. It's amazing how weak-willed they are and easily triggered and offended they are. And it's 2024, man. I mean, we've got some bigger shit going on right now. Russia is teetering on the edge of World War III with America, and we've got all the deaths in Palestine and Israel. We've got all that going on. We've got apparently a bird flu pandemic maybe coming around the corner. Who knows? But, I'm glad we're really focusing on the big things like what people have in their pants and who decides that they're a girl or a boy, but I do believe people like groups like Gays Against Groomers are doing a very good job, because we do need to protect children from these things, and they are getting attacked viciously for it, as Ronnie does, and that's why Radke here seems to pull no punches and give back twice as much as he's given. yeah, what better way to show my support to the actual LGBTQ members than donating to protect the children? Now, I don't know anyone of the LGBTQ that supports any of these leftist causes with like transitioning children, giving them hormone blockers, saying that kids are trans and things like that. I don't know I know plenty of gay people. One of my friends is a pansexual. I keep finding him in my pots and pans drawer constantly. Dean, if you're listening, you better not be in my fucking kitchen again. But none of these people agree with any of this leftist propaganda and leftist push. It's not even a leftist push. It's more, I'd say, pro-pedophile. I don't know. Pro-pedo, whatever you want to call it. Leave the kids alone. Like, I've got a newborn, and if anyone ever tried to hurt her, they would regret that from the seventh circle of hell that I'd send them to. I'm just going to leave it there. But people saying things like leave the children alone seems to trigger a lot of people. So Radke doing this is fantastic, and I'm sure it's upsetting the right bunch of people. Radke said fellow artists were afraid to speak out against child sexualization because backlash may hurt merchandise sales, calling them pandering posers. And Ronald J. Radke, President of the United States of America, will support the LGBTQ community as long as we protect these children from all these pandering YouTubers, pandering bands, pandering politicians, Radke said while saluting the camera in a cowboy hat before screaming as the video ended. Gays Against Groomers responded to Radke's announcement by calling the shirt epic. Thank you, Ronnie Radke. You are a legend, and we're so grateful for your support. Gays Against Groomers wrote, let's save these kids. Oh my God, this is so epic. As you can see the tweet there. GAG founder and president CEO Jamie Mitchell also responded to Radke's announcement. Dude, you're amazing. Mitchell wrote, thank you so much for the support. I know another gay person called Mitchell. GAG Against organisation leaders who praised Radke's announcement, including GAG Secretary and Director of Communications Judith Rose, and Director of Content Amy Ray. Just 30 minutes after announcing the Panda Express shirt, Radke shared the post announcing the t-shirt had sold out. Fantastic news. Earlier this week, as an ex-post, Radke threatened YouTube music critic Anthony Fantino with a lawsuit after learning Fantino had published several videos over the last year which made seemingly libelous remarks about Falling in Reverse frontman Legal's troubles. Anthony Fantino is what's wrong with our music scene, Radke captioned his post, accusing the music critic of perpetuating a political agenda and biased opinion on music if he thinks you are opposing his views. He's a failed musician. They love that one, failed musician. Phil Labonte from Falling in Reverse is labelled as a failed musician from some leftist post on Twitter. But, having several very, very good albums, massive, I think it was one of his latest videos got like 1 billion views or something. And, headlining for bands like Metallica. If that's what you call a failed musician, Ronnie Radke just released a fantastic new song with Jelly Roll, the country singer, and which actually featured several trans people, including Blair White. If you probably know who Blair White is. She's a fantastic, was it trans girl? Trans man? I don't fucking know. Sorry, Blair. Blair is fantastic. She's great. Fantastic. Jelly Roll's great in that song. That's the first Jelly Roll song I've actually even listened to, but it was a fantastic song. Very, very catchy. Go and listen to it on Spotify or go and watch a video on YouTube. It's a good video as well. But that really triggered a lot of people. And calling him a failed musician's pretty hilarious. I'm sure him living in his mansion in LA or wherever he lives, he must be really failed as a musician. I'd hate to see what a good musician lives in. Some sort of alternate reality where, they're just an omnipotent being, maybe, if they're a good musician. Maybe that's where like Dio or Lars live. I don't know. I don't know. Failed musician is hilarious. Co-parter, Lefty. It's hard work and success to negatively, if not negative, arrogantly give his baseless and unprofessional opinion on music. Unprofessional and baseless. All right. On music and intentionally trashes people based on what he thinks. The type of person they are that gets paid to do it, Radke wrote. He knows he knows that when he's negative, it gets more views, therefore more money. Ironic coming from a communist. It is very ironic coming from commies. But commies, on the internet. Here he is, very well known for siding with massive companies who try to pay them. Now, commies seem to love money, and they love, it's like punks now, punk music and punk bands. A lot of punk bands and a lot of punk people seem to think that they're punk, but they're not really punk because they bow down to all of the governmental propaganda. They bow down to all the massive corporations that feed them money every time they say the right thing. It's kind of disgusting. I mean, you can look at Rage Against the Machine. It's now Rage for the Machine. They were renowned for going out and, the guitarist is a massive commie, is a pronounced commie. He says he's communist, and fantastic guitarist, fantastic band, great songs, you know, all that. But disgusting views on the world, and they are sellouts, and they go around promoting themselves as the anti-government. I suppose, like, I don't know. I mean, Rage Against the Machine, they're saying they're Rage Against the Machine, but they are, in fact, on the payroll of the machine and call you, not just to do their bidding, but they actually go out of their way to call people out and mandate things at their concerts, like mandate the vaccine at their concert. Things like that. Now, I can't give them too much shit because if back in the day of the old flu getting around, a couple of years ago now, they wouldn't let anyone play or do anything unless everyone was jabbed. So I kind of get that, but like they really went out of their way. Like, what was that? What's that Irish rock band? They pretend that they're really tough and oh god, their name is slipping my mind because I'm so sick of hearing about it. But he's sit there arguing at people for voting for Trump or not getting jabbed. It'd be like going to a Bruce Springsteen concert. He pretended he was a big American patriot. And he goes and does a podcast with Barack Obama, the drone commander-in-chief. And I don't know whether... Maybe I should listen to an episode of that. Maybe they talk about how many weddings Barack bombed. Or maybe they talk about Michelle's massive hog. Who knows? But we'll get into this story here about Radke. Lawyer up, homie. Ronnie Radke threatens music critic with lawsuit over libelous comments. You're trying to make it seem like this is an awful person with all these not true things. Now, I think, looking at him, you can kind of see what side of the spectrum he's on. Falling reverse frontman Ronnie Radke threatened music critic Anthony Fantino with a lawsuit. How do you become a music critic? Like, you just don't like any type of music, or you just like the right type of propaganda shit and you just whinge about everything else? Is that how you become a critic of anything? Like, how do you get the title critic, like, let alone music critic? It sounds like it's just a sassy gay guy that's got a lot of fucking opinions that no one gives a shit about. Well, Anthony Fantino lawsuit after he made seemingly libelous statements about Radke's legal troubles in a series of YouTube videos. Radke and Fantino previously sparred on social media in 2023. A music critic referred to Falling in Reverse's Watch the World Burn, which is a great song and great film clip, as a really bad rap metal song. It appeared to mimic rapper Tom MacDonald's style without the racism. Hey, he doesn't need to mimic Tom MacDonald. He's got his own thing going on. And if he wants to be racist, he's fully capable of being racist. I mean, aren't all white men racist? Oh, I suppose maybe he's got the blackout tattoos. Maybe that counts as something nowadays. I don't know. Maybe he might identify as black or African. You don't know. That's some very mean words to be using against someone you don't know nothing about. In response, the Falling in Reverse frontman called Fantino the Perez Hilton of music critics in a now deleted post on X, then Twitter. Two then engaged in a back and forth. Both insulted each other's appearance and relevance. Just going to point this out there. Relevant, rich, talented, good-looking, balding, four-eyed, effeminate. Just, yeah. I'll leave it there before I start saying slurs. In Monday video posted by to X by Radke, said a fan brought his attention to several YouTube videos shared by Fantino over the last year in which music critic appeared to imply Radke was a R-wordist and a racist, a woman beater, and a transphobe. When discussing musicians' prior legal troubles, Radke had previously accused of domestic abuse, sexual assault, and assaulting audience members during a performance, though the matters have been resolved and charges were later dropped. See, now that's a very libelous thing to say. Radke said he had not previously seen Fantino's video, adding the otherwise would have responded a long time ago. Anthony, probably because he's a nobody and no one really gives a shit about what he says, but I'd sue the pants off him anyway. Anthony Fantini, what's wrong with our music scene? Radke captioned this video accusing the music critics of perpetuating a political agenda and biased opinion on music. If he thinks you're opposing his views, he's a failed musician that uses people's hard work and success to negatively, arrogantly give his baseless unprofessional opinion on music, intentionally trashes people based on what he thinks the type of person they are, and gets paid to do it, Radke wrote. He knows that when he's negative, it gets more views, therefore more money, ironic coming from communists. In August 2023, Fantino posted a video titled "This Guy Sucks" and referred to Radke as quite possibly the biggest living piece of trash in the world of rock music. Now, that's a big title. If they made a statue or like a little, medallion for that, I'm sure Ronnie would go and accept it. While suggesting that the Falling in Reverse frontman parroted right-wing talking points with garnered a Republican fan base. Some people are allowed their own fucking opinion. Just because you don't agree with their opinion. Like, I completely believe this Fantano, whatever fuck his name is, has his opinion. And he's entitled to that opinion. He's entitled to be wrong. He's entitled to be racist, stupid, and retarded. I don't know. But, I believe that he believes those opinions. Some people obviously don't believe what they're saying. I think like Lance from the Surfs on Twitter, he's one of those people who doesn't believe what he's saying. At least I hope he doesn't, because I have more faith in humanity than that. But why is it when we have, or anyone on the right or like middle, I suppose, like anyone who's not a crazy communist leftist has an opinion, it's, they're just doing it for money or they're doing it for clout. It's like, wouldn't it be the other way around? Wouldn't we be pandering to leftists because they control all the mainstream media, 90% of the internet, half of the governments in the world now that that tide might be turning, but very slowly. Wouldn't we be pandering the other way? Why would we go the hard route? I mean, if I wanted to start a YouTube channel and say all the nice things about gay people and all the nice things about African Americans and say that, being woke is fantastic, I'm sure I could bring up a fan base a lot quicker because I wouldn't be getting content striked and I wouldn't be getting deleted off of TikTok. I wouldn't be getting demoted in the algorithm. It'd be a lot easier. But I'm not selling out my soul for a few people on the internet like these people do. And I just don't think that they can comprehend that other people have opinions and have a backbone and a spine. It's just so weird that he keeps getting away with being a totally unrepentant, abusive, mean, and manipulative, taking advantage of you in any way that he can. He's a piece of shit. Fantino said in Radke's legal troubles at the time. They added a brief, allegedly text caption to his statement. In this Monday video, Radke reiterated his aforementioned charges had been dropped, adding that he later sued and won his case against Caitlin Boswell, who accused him of sexual assault. The audacity of you with such a wide platform to try to imply that I'm using my platform to silence people, Radke said. I'm actually using my platform to stand up for false allegations because there's a lot of men out there that have false allegations that are afraid to stand up because they're going to get attacked by people like you. Radke insisted Fantino's remarks made in an August 2023 video would be libelous in court. I will sue the ever-living crap out of you. Your ass, I guess. This man had made a whole career off the arrogance and narcissism, thinking that anybody actually cares about your opinion other than Andrew Tate fans, Radke said to Fantino. That's who I picture being your fans in comments. Incels that don't get girlfriends commenting on the most negative crap. The fully reversed frontman then labelled Fantino the most negative human being on this planet. Radke countered Fantino's remarks about his fan base, saying that the audience spanned the political spectrum, implying that I sexually assaulted someone on your video. That's still up. And it's still up with not being true with DNA. Factual evidence is insane, brother. Radke said, adding, I will take everything you have. And I hope he does. I mean, talk shit, get hit has dropped right off since the dawn of the internet and the rise of social media and things like that. I mean, you can't just keep getting away with shit. Like, they keep saying anytime anyone on the right, like, say that white girl that said the N-word in a TikTok video, they're cancelling her. I believe she's lost her job at the moment. You have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom from repercussions of what you say, is one of their favourite things to say. And it goes both ways, motherfucker. It goes both ways. Also implying, my charges for domestic violence were dismissed because it wasn't true, but saying, but I know that makes you liable, homie. He continued, you can have an opinion, but you can't imply something that's serious. Radke then countered Fantino's claims about transphobia by saying the inclusion of 2 transgender individuals, including YouTuber Blair White, in Fooling a Reverse's Lady music video, All My Life. It's a very good song. Go and check it out now. Yeah, let me know what you think. Anyway, if big fan of country music, it's a really good like country metal mix. I don't know if you're a big fan of country music, whether you can understand the words that I'm using, because they are some bigger words. If you like, I will speak slower and I will get captions or draw with some crayons. I don't know. But if you're a heavy metal fan, it's a banger and it's something a little different. So go check it out. You're going to have to take that video down. Radke directed to Fantino, calling the music critic a sellout. You're trying to make it seem like this awful person with all these not true things. He continued in another post to X. Radke told Fantino to lawyer up. The Fully Reversed frontman continued to respond to Fantino in a series of X posts. And Fantino, you have taken something extremely traumatic as me being falsely accused and made people think I was actually guilty of, uploaded and made money off of it, Radke wrote. I have PTSD from this every day since it happened. I think about it every day, and you took that and used it to make money. The old me would send some outlaws to speak to you, but the new me has to take you to court. So crazy that you as a vegan can't hop off my meat for 1 second. You're about to get cooked, he continued. I like to get people have opinions, but the second I realised Fantino was a poser when I noticed the way he tried describing music and sounds. Radke continued in another post. Lifelong musicians have a certain way of speaking. Like, I can't call a random musician that's been a lifelong musician right now. I've never spoken to in my life, and we can both talk in a specific musical way that sounds like a foreign language to non-musicians, and we will both understand exactly what one other one's saying. So when Anthony was describing the reasons he didn't like Sleep Token and I tried sounding like a real actual musician, I immediately knew that these people got subscribed to him, he's got these people subscribed to him, fooled. Radke said, referencing Fantino's criticism of Sleep Token. He's a poser, people, I promise you. Fantino has not responded to Radke's lawsuit threat as Tuesday evening. Now, please, for the love of God, Radke, sue the fucking shit out of this dude. Because I'm sick of people talking shit on the internet and making shit up. I mean, it's fair enough if you're using, like, legitimate arguments like I try to use here and you're just speaking the truth and not lying, but these people go out of their way, especially leftists. I don't know what it is, commies and all that. It's the only way their argument can stand is because it's built on a bed of lies and propaganda and misconceptions, and they tell that to all of their fan base, and then that fan base repeats it in Chinese whispers. It gets changed, it gets worse. They do the same thing to Ronnie Radke as they do to people like Trump, Joe Rogan, all those things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. They will twist it into something of the worst possible human thing a human could do, and they lie about it. It doesn't matter whether it gets retracted later. No one hears that. We know that mainstream media is constantly doing shit like that. They'll put out a story and then a week later they'll retract it, but you'll never get that retraction. couple of thousand people, a million people that have read it have read that first story, and only a handful of people have read the retraction. If anyone has read the retraction, people still to this day believe that Donald Trump was a Russian asset and a Russian spy. And that's just mind-boggling to me. People still think that the jab and all that works, and I'm not saying it doesn't, because I'm not a doctor. Go and seek medical advice if you need something. But it's all come out into the light, and people just refuse to see all this information. And this is just like a small, pop culture kind of reference to this major problem. But you can just go and say bullshit online, like this dude does, and get away with it and make money off. Not only just get away with it, you make money off of it and create an entire propaganda machine. Like, look at Black Lives Matter. The George Floyd thing, they made so much money off of that dude. Like, they turned him into like a prophet. I don't know. Like, it's like Jesus. How much money has the church made off of Jesus, and he's dead? That's exactly what Black Lives Matter did to George Floyd, and it was all based. Well, don't know about the Bible, but this was all definitely based on a lie. I mean, chewing an 8-ball, we won't go there. We'll just leave that where it is, all right, shall we? Because I'm going to say some shit that is going to get me in trouble. But this thing needs to stop. People need to pull the pin. And people like Elon Musk, who's fighting with the Australian government at the moment over censorship and stuff like that. And Elon isn't the best with censorship at the moment. I mean, you can't say 3 words that are trending on Twitter right now without having your post deranked and view throttled and accounts view throttled and things like that. It's still happening on X. It still happens. Twitter is probably one of the best places for freedom of speech, mainstream places, I should say, but it's not the be all and end all. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of freedom to give to that platform. Places like YouTube and TikTok are some of the worst they are the worst. I mean, I can't post up a video on TikTok without it being censored, taken down, and then not put into the algorithm because they find it offensive for some reason that they can't give me any information on. They just can't tell me exactly why. But you broke some rule, but we don't know what rule it is you broke, but you broke it. Every single comment, no matter how benign it is on TikTok, some of them aren't benign, which I get that, but every single one gets removed at minimum, within 24 hours. I don't get it. If these companies gave free reign to everyone. I mean, I've seen beheading videos on Facebook. There's the worst things in the world on the most benign platform like Facebook and YouTube. And then if you say the wrong pronoun for people, or if you say something about a medical thing, or if you say something about a certain member of, or a certain thing of the Rainbow Mafia, especially this month being June, which is Pride Month, yay! You're deleted off the internet, basically, and you were left where I am at the moment. It's at the bottom of a very lonely hole. And it makes it very hard to continue, which is exactly what they want. But they would make so much money if they just let everyone put out everything they had and let the world decide whether it's good or not. That's how ideas work. Someone puts forward an idea, people put their proposition up against it, and they fight it out in a battle of wits and a battle of truth and a battle of, discussion, and the best idea wins. That's how we've got to the point where we are today. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of things back in the day when they invented mathematics. Muslims who invented mathematics, and whether they were trying to figure out the trajectory of the heads of the slain enemies they were throwing into someone else's castle, or whatever they were doing with mathematics back in the day. I'm sure there were a lot of people saying, no, that's not correct, but they were eventually proven right through discussion, time, and basic fundamentals of the universe that we live in, it's all proven right at the end. Like, we know that Hitler was a very bad person. We know that communism is very bad. Well, most of us do. And those battles have raged on in courtrooms, in libraries, in discussion halls, and on the battlefield, and in people's homes even, those two arguments. And we both know those arguments are wrong. There's no good coming from either of those arguments. And we know that. It only cost 106 million people's lives, but, give or take a few million, but we know that. That's the danger of not having discussions. That's the danger of just believing what you were told and not poking holes in other arguments and things. I'm sure there's plenty of holes in my argument about stuff, and people can poke holes in that all they want. That's how we learn. That's how we get better at things. That's how we figure out what's wrong in society. But Ronnie Radke is a knight in shining armor for freedom of speech and repercussions. So hopefully Ronnie on TikTok hangs around, because I believe he's been kicked off there before. Go and follow him. He is quite fun of a follow, especially if you like birds. But anyone that picks on him, look out. He doesn't pull any punches, and he will fuck you up. Let's leave it like that. So hopefully his court case goes well. He does sue the absolute pants off of that libelous little bastard, and he makes him regret saying the awful things that he has, baseless lies and claims. And we'll let the courts decide that, though, shall we? Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Follow me on all my platforms. You can follow me here on YouTube, Rumble, TikTok, Twitter, you name it, I'm there. Odysee, BitChute. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you're a fan of Radke's, if you haven't listened to any music, go and have a look. You never know. You might wake up to yourself and start enjoying heavy metal like the good people do. But let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.